Okay, this is a help, the homework that we had for the night before last, I think. It's on page 393 in the book, and it's question 10. Firstly, when you're doing these questions, the question I took, this is from the book, okay, it's printed. You always start off by writing down, question 10, and you're going to go f of x goes to ax squared plus bx plus 1. You write the function down. Don't just start off with some random numbers. Write the function down as reference for yourself, so you're not going back and forth to the book, and it makes sense. And f of 1 means this here, 1, means that you're putting 1 in instead of x. So that means we're going to get a by 1 squared plus b by 1 plus 1, and we're told that that's equal to 0. There's the 0. So that is equal to 0. And if we simplify that, we're going to get a plus b plus 1 is equal to 0. And that's our first formula. Okay, so we define the value of a and b. Now let's look at the second one. This is f of 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So we do the same again. We go a times minus 1 to be squared plus b by minus 1 plus 1. And that's also equal to 0. So we're going to get minus 1 by minus 1 to be squared is just a as well, minus b plus 1 is equal to 0. And that's our second formula, if you like. So, in fact, something I would like to have done, I probably would like to write that this is f of 1 is equal to that, and f of minus 1 is equal to this. I would like to see that written down in the books as well. Now we have these two formulas here, and you solve using simultaneous equations. And I'm not going to go through that with you, to be honest, because you've done it loads of times, but I can just say at a glance that if I add 1 and 2, these b's here are going to cancel out, aren't they? So let's do it since I've nearly got it done. We're going to get 2a, because I'm adding the a and the a here. The b plus the minus b is going to cancel, and I'm going to get 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, and that's going to equal to 0 plus 0 is 0. So 2a is equal to minus 2, and that means a is equal to minus 1. And then you substitute the a is equal to minus 1 into your equation, into any one of the equations, either this one or this one, to get the value of b. Okay, let's leave it at that. Let's move on to the next question now. Okay, we're doing question 12 now, so ignore this one for a few minutes. So, as I said the last time, you write down f of x is equal to x squared plus bx plus c. And we're told then that f of 0, use f of 0 to find the value of c. So there's f of 0. Well, looking at this here, we can see that f of 0 is equal to minus 3. So if I plug 0 into my function, I'm going to get 0 squared plus b by 0 plus c is equal to minus 3. 0 squared plus 0 plus c is equal to minus 3. So we have a value of c is equal to minus 3. Okay, the next part 2, it says use the graph to find another equation in b and c. So I'm going to use f of minus 3 this time. We know that f of minus 3 is equal to 0. So I'm going to put minus 3 into the function, and I'm going to get minus 3 to be squared plus b by minus 3 plus c, and c is equal to minus 3. We just did that a moment ago, and that's equal to 0. So we're going to get 9 minus 3b minus 3 is equal to 0, and that's going to bring the 3b to the far side. I'm going to get 3b is equal to 6, and that means that b is equal to 2. So now we've got another value. We've got b is equal to 2. So we have c is equal to minus 3 and b is equal to 2. So if you look at this question, part 2 again, back up to here, it says use the graph to find another equation in b and c. That was this bit here. And use this equation and the value for c found in 1 to find the value for b, which we've just done. Then part 3 says use these values for b and c and solve the equation x squared plus bx plus c. Well, now we have c is equal to minus 3 and b is equal to 2. So our function, and this is like what we did today actually, I'll do it in blue. I'd need more space, but I don't want to move on to a new page just yet. I have x squared, then bx is plus 2x minus 3. Okay, and you want to solve that is equal to 0, you see? Using it equal to 0. So now we're going to use the brackets like we did today. X, and what two values here? We're going to get plus 3 and minus 1 is equal to 0. So plus 1 and minus 3, that's going to give us that. So therefore x is equal to 1 or x is equal to minus 3. So obviously there's a minus 3 value, you see? X is equal to minus 3, and that means that d is equal to 1. That value there is equal to 1. I think it says, yeah, find the coordinates of the point D. Okay, right, onwards and upwards, on to question 13. Okay, question 13. I'm not going to write out the functions again because we ran out of space in the last question. So let's just go straight to f of 0. So f of 0 is equal to 0 squared plus 1. And that's equal to g of 0. So f of 0 is equal to 1. And then g of 0 is equal to a times 0 plus b. And that means that f of 0 is equal to 1 and g of 0 is equal to b. And it said if f of 0 is equal, I'll do this in green, if f of 0 is equal to g of 0 and g2 is equal to 15, find the values of a and b. So using the first bit in green, if f of 0 is equal to g of 0, well then obviously those two are the same, so b is equal to 1. Because if f of 0 is equal to g of 0, they're both equal to 1. So b is equal to 1. Now the next bit, g of 2. So g of 2 is equal to a times 2 plus b. Well, b is equal to 1. So g of 2, and by the way, we're told, I'll do this in orange, g of 2 is equal to 15. So a times 2 plus 1, go back into green, is equal to 15. So you've got 2a plus 1 is equal to 15. That means 2a is equal to 14, a is equal to 7. So there's your two answers to that. And look how small the amount of work that's involved in getting that. It's all about understanding, isn't it? Having understanding the concepts. Hope that helps. Talk to you soon.